He placed the gold chessboard on the table and smirked. "Wanna try, kid?" Everyone laughed. The black maid froze in the corner, clutching her hands. Her son looked up, quiet, eyes calm. He nodded. And within 15 minutes, the room went silent. The boy had just checkmated a billionaire. They called him Rico. 12 years old. Thin. Wore the same shoes for months. His mom, Miss Clara, worked 14-hour shifts in the mansion, cleaning, folding, cooking. She never complained. Never asked for favors. Just prayed her son would have a better life. She saved every coin to buy him a second-hand chess set from the flea market. No board. Just the pieces. He used a pizza box to draw squares. She'd come home at night and find him staring at it. Silent. Focused. Obsessed. She thought it was a phase. Until she saw him reading Russian chess books from the library, using Google Translate. Mr. Langston, the millionaire, threw weekend parties with his elite friends. The kind of parties where people wore watches worth more than houses. Miss Clara was always invisible. Just a shadow in the background. One afternoon, Rico tagged along after school. He sat quietly near the garden, playing with his broken tablet. A guest spotted him. "Who's that?" "Oh, that's just Clara's boy." Langston laughed. "Bet he doesn't even know what chess is." That's when Rico stood up and said, "Actually, I do. Wanna play?" Laughter exploded. Langston waved his hand. "All right, bring the board. Let's humor him." He thought it'd be fun. A rich man humiliating a poor boy in front of a crowd. He set the pieces. "White or black?" Rico replied, "I'll take black. I like the challenge." The guests chuckled again. The game started. Langston made aggressive opening moves, bishop flying, knights charging. But the boy didn't flinch. He mirrored, defended, waited. 5 moves in, Langston leaned forward. 10 moves in, he frowned. 15 moves in, he panicked. Then it happened. A trap. Checkmate in 3. The room froze. Silence. Langston stared at the board. The boy calmly pushed back his chair. "Thank you for the game, sir." The guests didn't know whether to clap or stay quiet. Clara stood still in the hallway, afraid she'd be fired. Langston didn't speak. He got up, walked outside, and slammed the door. Rico turned to his mom. "Did I do something wrong?" She ran to him and hugged him tight. "No, baby. You did something great." The next day, a video of the match leaked online. Over 2 million views in 48 hours. "Poor kid beats billionaire at chess." Comments poured in. "Who is this kid? He plays like Magnus Carlsen." A chess coach from New York tracked him down. He flew in to meet Rico. Watched him play. And said one word. Prodigy. Within a week, scholarships rolled in. Chess academies. Sponsorships. The same people who laughed were now offering contracts. Langston finally called Clara. "Bring your son to my office." She hesitated. But went. Rico walked in, nervous but proud. Langston looked him in the eye. "I underestimated you. That was wrong." He handed him a box. Inside, an antique chess set from 1840. And a check. $100,000. "For your education." Rico smiled. "No thank you. I already got a sponsor." Clara placed a hand on his shoulder. Langston smiled back. "I guess the game's still on, huh?" Rico replied. "Always." Months later, Rico entered his first national tournament. Round after round, he beat kids with private coaches, custom suits, unlimited resources. But he didn't care about the flash. He played for his mom. He played for every kid who ever heard, "You're just the maid's son." He made it to the final round. His opponent was 16, top-ranked, undefeated. The hall was packed. Langston was in the front row. Clara sat behind, holding her breath. Rico stared at the board. And smiled. He opened with the Sicilian defense. The match lasted 4 hours. Sweat. Silence. Strategy. People live-streamed every move. Commentators whispered. "This kid, he's unreal." Final move. Checkmate. The crowd erupted. Rico didn't celebrate. He stood, walked to his mom, and handed her the trophy. "This is yours." Clara cried. Langston stood and clapped slowly. The same man who once mocked, now honored. Today, Rico's face is on chess magazines. He's training with grandmasters in Europe. But he still carries one thing. That old pizza box chessboard. Framed. In his room. As a reminder. Genius doesn't come from privilege. It comes from grit. From late nights. From being laughed at, and choosing to focus anyway. And every time he sits down to play, he whispers, "Let's begin." Because even when the world doubts you, one move can change everything.